Most people are taught that keeping animals means buying bags of feed from the store every month without fail. But that is not how our ancestors survived. For thousands of years, families raised healthy, productive animals on 1 acre or less, with zero purchased feed. Not because they were struggling, because they understood something modern systems quietly buried. The animals they chose worked with the land fed the animals fed the family. In this video, I am uncovering 6 forgotten animals that can thrive without expensive feed bags. Perfect for anyone who values self-sufficiency, healthy food, and true independence. If you believe sustainable living is not just possible but smarter, this channel is for you. I share forgotten animal systems like this every week, and subscribing means you will not miss the knowledge most people never learn. Welcome to the Animal and Plant Lost Vault. Let us unlock it. Animal 1, the heritage breed goat the first. Animal matters because it solves a quiet survival problem most people do not even realize they have. Land that does not grow grass well. Most modern advice will tell you goats need hay, grain, and minerals shipped in on pallets. But our ancestors understood something different. The right goats, heritage breeds like Spanish, Kiko, or Myotonic, do not need a lawn. They need brush. They need brambles. They need the very plants most people spend money trying to remove. Our ancestors saw this as abundance. Modern systems trained us to see it as a problem. The reason this system worked was not technology. It was not expensive fencing or specialized equipment. It worked because it matched real life. Land that was too steep for cows, too rough for machinery, too overgrown for anything else. Heritage goats convert what most people call waste into 2 precious things: healthy milk and reliable meat. They do not depend on constant feed deliveries or rising grain prices, and that is why this knowledge lasted for generations until it was buried under modern farming systems that require constant spending. Historically, here is all they needed. What they had was rough, unimproved land, maybe a few acres of wood's edge, places where goats could browse freely. What they did was move the goats through different areas, allowing the land to rest and regrow. No grain buckets, no supplements, just rotational browsing. Why it sustained was simple. They understood that goats are browsers, not grazers. They do not need grass. They need variety, leaves, twigs, bark, and the wild plants that grow without any human effort. That alone kept the system alive for generations. Over time, this did not just provide milk for the family. It created stability, reliable nutrition from animals that cost almost nothing to maintain. And for families with limited land, it turned an overgrown patch into a productive asset. 1 or 2 heritage goats on 1 acre of brushy land can provide enough milk for a family, plus surplus for cheese, yogurt, or trading with neighbours. And that is why entire communities once relied on them. One detail most people miss is that heritage goats actually prefer invasive species. Multiflora rose, autumn olive, poison ivy. You do not need this knowledge to start, but it explains why modern goat operations often fail. They treat goats like small cows, feeding them hay and grain instead of letting them do what goats have done for thousands of years. Give them brush, they will give you back healthy food. Animal 2, the American Guinea Hog. The second animal solves a different problem. What to do with scraps, acorns, and land too shady for grass? Most people assume pigs require grain. But our ancestors raised pigs on what we now call waste, and they produced some of the most flavorful, healthy pork you have ever tasted. The American Guinea Hog is a rare heritage breed that nearly disappeared in the 1990s, but it is making a quiet comeback, and for good reason. The reason this animal worked was not because our ancestors had special technology. They had something simpler: observation. They noticed that pigs, left to their own instincts, will forage for acorns, roots, insects, and whatever the forest provides. They do not need expensive protein supplements. They need space to root. This system did not depend on constant feed, electricity, or debt. It depended on matching the animal to the land. Here is how they did it. What they had was wooded land, often considered unusable for farming, maybe a few acres of oak or hickory trees. What they did was turn pigs into the woods during mast season, when acorns and nuts were falling. The pigs fattened themselves on nature's abundance. Why it sustained was because they focused on one thing, letting pigs do what pigs do: root, forage, convert fallen nuts into high-quality meat, no grain needed. Over time, this provided reliable protein without competing with human food, crops. The acorns and nuts that fed these pigs would otherwise go unused, and the pigs, in turn, cleared land, reduced pest insects, and fertilized the soil, all while producing healthy, nutrient-dense meat for the family. One detail most people miss is that Guinea hogs are also exceptional foragers on pasture. They will not destroy your land like larger commercial breeds. They are calm, manageable, and perfect for a 1-acre homestead. You do not need grain to start. You just need land and the willingness to let a pig be a pig. Animal 3, the Nigerian dwarf goat. The third animal matters because it answers a common question. What if I want milk, but I only have a small space? Nigerian dwarf goats are miniature, but do not let the size fool you. They produce surprisingly rich milk, higher in butterfat than most full-sized dairy goats, and they thrive on forage alone. The reason this breed worked for small homesteads was simple. They require less of everything, less space, less feed, less infrastructure. And because they are browsers like their larger cousins, they convert brush and weeds into high-quality milk without needing grain. For families with limited land, this was a life-changing discovery. What they had was a small paddock, maybe a 1/4 acre, with some shrubs and weeds. What they did was rotate the goats through the space, letting them browse down one section while another recovered. Why it sustained was because the goats never overgrazed. They were moved before the land was stripped, and the milk they produced became a staple, fresh, healthy, and free from store prices. For families, this meant a steady source of healthy milk for drinking, cooking, and making cheese. It meant less dependence on store-bought dairy, which has become increasingly expensive and unpredictable. A pair of Nigerian dwarf does can produce enough milk for a small family on forage alone. That is sustainable in the truest sense. One detail most people miss is that because they are smaller, they are easier on fencing. They do not challenge boundaries like larger goats, and their gentle temperament makes them ideal for older homesteaders or families with grandchildren. Small space, small investment, reliable return. That is the forgotten wisdom. Animal 4, the American Mammoth Jackstock. Now we come to number 4, the one most people miss entirely. The American Mammoth Jackstock donkey solves a problem that no other animal on this list can. Labour without fuel costs. Most people think donkeys are just guard animals, but the Mammoth Jackstock was bred for something far more valuable. It was bred to work. Before tractors, before diesel, before expensive machinery that breaks down and requires debt, families used these animals to do real work. They pulled wagons, they ploughed gardens, they hauled firewood, and they did it on forage alone. Grass, hay, and whatever the land provided. This system did not depend on fuel prices, supply chains, or mechanics. It depended on an animal that converted sunshine into horsepower quietly and reliably. What they had was an acre or two of pasture grass. Nothing fancy. What they did was work the animal a few hours a day, letting it graze the rest of the time. The work was not rushed. It was steady, consistent, and sustainable. Why it sustained was because the animal was not pushed beyond its natural capacity. It lived a long, healthy life, serving the family without the cost of purchased inputs. Over time, this provided something priceless: independence from fuel, when gas prices spike, when equipment breaks, when supply chains fail. These animals keep working. They do not ask for diesel. They do not require parts shipped from overseas. For a family seeking true self-sufficiency, a Mammoth Jackstock is one of the most productive investments you can make. One detail most people miss is that these animals also serve as exceptional guardians for other livestock. Coyotes, stray dogs, and predators think twice when faced with a Mammoth Jackstock. You do not need this to start, but it explains why modern homesteads often struggle with predator losses that our ancestors simply did not have. One animal, multiple jobs, zero purchased feed. That is forgotten wisdom. Animal 5, the heritage turkey. The fifth animal solves a problem most people do not even know they have: pest control that pays you back. Heritage turkeys, breeds like Standard Bronze or Narragansett, are not the broad-breasted white turkeys you see in grocery stores. Those commercial birds can barely walk, let alone forage. Heritage turkeys are athletes. They roam, they forage, and they turn insects, grass, and seeds into some of the most flavorful meat you will ever taste. The reason this system worked was integration. Turkeys did not need their own special paddock or expensive feed. Our ancestors ran them behind other livestock. The turkeys ate the insects that bothered the goats and pigs. They scratched through manure, reducing fly populations, and they fattened themselves on what would otherwise be waste. What they had was pasture with other animals already on it, nothing extra. What they did was let the turkeys follow behind. The birds cleaned up what the others left behind: insects, spilled forage, seeds. Why it sustained was because the system was closed. Every animal contributed to the health of the whole. No purchased inputs required. For families, this meant a holiday bird that cost almost nothing to raise. It meant healthy meat from animals that lived outdoors, eating what nature provided. And in an age where grocery store turkeys are often injected with solutions and raised in crowded barns, this is a return to real food. One detail most people miss is that heritage turkeys can hatch and raise their own young. You do not need incubators or brooders. A broody turkey will raise her poults with no help from you. That is self-sufficiency built into the animal itself. Animal 6. The heritage rabbit. Our final animal solves the most basic problem of all: protein on the smallest footprint possible. Rabbits are the forgotten livestock of American homesteads, and heritage breeds like the Champagne d'Argent or American Blue offer something commercial rabbits cannot: hardiness, foraging ability, and the capacity to thrive on homegrown feed. The reason rabbits worked was efficiency. They convert forage into meat at a rate no other animal can match. And they do it quietly, in a small space, with no noise complaints and minimal infrastructure. For families with limited land, rabbits were the ultimate sustainable protein source. What they had was a small shed, a colony pen, or even a converted corner of the barn. What they did was feed rabbits what the garden produced: carrot tops, lettuce leaves, weeds and grass. And they let the rabbits breed naturally, without complicated schedules. Why it sustained was because rabbits multiply quickly, mature fast, and provide meat without competing for human food. For families, this meant a constant, reliable source of healthy, lean protein. It meant food security that did not depend on store shelves. And for seniors on fixed incomes or families watching their budget, rabbits represent one of the most affordable ways to produce your own meat. One detail most people miss is the value of rabbit pelts. Our ancestors wasted nothing. The fur was tanned for warmth, for trade, for practical use. You do not need to tan hides to start raising rabbits. but knowing that every part of the animal has value. That is the mindset that made our ancestors resilient. If this kind of forgotten knowledge matters to you, give this video a like. It helps YouTube surface this to others who are looking for real alternatives to modern systems. And tell me in the comments, had you heard of the Mammoth Jackstock before, or was that one completely new to you? Maybe you have experience with heritage turkeys or Guinea hogs. I would love to hear what is working on your homestead. I read every comment. This channel grows through shared knowledge, and your insights help us all learn together. Thank you for being part of this community. Vault Insight. Here is something rarely talked about. Most animal systems failed, not because of the animals, but because humans tried to modernize what was meant to stay simple. We added grain when it was not needed. We confined animals that were meant to roam. We replaced observation with schedules, and in doing so, we lost the resilience our ancestors took for granted. The more natural the system, the healthier it becomes. For the animals, for the land, and for you. There is a quiet wisdom in letting animals do what they evolved to do. Goats browse, pigs root, turkeys follow, donkeys work, rabbits multiply. Each of these animals carries within it the blueprint for a system that requires no purchased inputs, no debt, no dependence on fragile supply chains. Our ancestors did not have complicated formulas or expensive infrastructure. They had observation, they had patience, and they had the humility to work with nature instead of against it. That knowledge was never lost, it was just buried. And now, 1 acre at a time, 1 family at a time, it is being unearthed again. The question is whether we will remember how to use it. You do not need more animals. You do not need more land. You do not need more debt. You need the right knowledge. Pick 1 animal from today and sit with it. Research it. Imagine it on your land. That is how forgotten systems come back to life. 1 family, 1 acre, 1 animal at a time. Maybe it is a pair of Nigerian Dwarf goats for fresh milk. Maybe it is a Mammoth Jackstock for quiet, reliable power. Maybe it is a small colony of heritage rabbits for healthy protein that costs almost nothing to produce. Whatever you choose, start small, start simple, let the land teach you. That is what our ancestors did, and it worked for thousands of years. If you want more hidden knowledge like this, systems that reduce costs, increase independence, and bring back what actually worked, subscribe to the Animal and Plant Lost Vault. This channel exists to preserve what worked before it was buried. Tap the bell so you never miss a video. There is more in the vault. Thanks for opening it with me. I will see you in the next one.